In this video, I want to show you an example of how I was able to invite someone to Isagenix and they were signed up and they had really great results with the products. They felt really good. So I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I was in the comment section and a friend of mine says, I'm on my way with my dad having two uncles with Alzheimer's and very probably the father he lost at 8 years old. He looked into it, and when he found his grave, I'm on the list of high potential risk. I take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil every day, but that is no guarantee. So he mentions in here how he he's got a history of Alzheimer's, and um, and so he's proactively taking coconut oil every day because that's something that helps people um, to combat Alzheimer's and that supports their brain. So I took a screenshot on my my phone, and then I used the photo editor to just circle what he said, and um, then I spoke to him. I said, "Hey, brother, when you said you were concerned about your risk of getting dementia, were you being serious or were you just kidding around?" And that was part of the question. That's basically how I started the conversation. Before that, I haven't talked to him for quite some time, but he watches several of my videos and um, he has enjoyed my content. He said, I didn't realize that I used the word concerned. I would not necessarily put it that way, but I was serious about getting Alzheimer's disease. My dad had it, and the dementia that goes along with it, and two of my uncles on his side, as well as very probably my dad's dad. So I stand a serious chance of getting the same thing. What do I do at this point is I take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil every day with breakfast. I've seen more than 3 studies and several testimonies of the effects of it on Alzheimer's. As far as worried goes, well, I don't think it will come before my mother passes away. And since that is she is all I'm really concerned about, then I don't really care what happens to myself. I'm good either way. Whatever comes about is in the Lord's hands. So clearly, I like the word concerned wasn't his exact words. Um, it seemed like the meaning to me, but he applies a different meaning to it, which is understandable. This is how I responded. But I'm sorry for using an inadequate word that incorrectly expressed what you were sharing. Then he said his mom is all that he cares about, so that shows what he values. So I asked, is your mom doing anything to help combat this danger as well? Or is it that she's not really at a high risk of getting dementia because her family history isn't high in that? And then he says that mom has a type of dementia. There's many kind. Hers is a result of vascular system, that is blood flow to the brain. Her lower heart does not relax. And then he talks about cardiovascular problems. She can carry on a conversation as long as it's not too complex, short-term memory. No reason to be sorry for using that word that I would not have used. I thought nothing of it, and I did not actually look at your copy of my text until after I had chatted my answer to you. Oh, okay, there you go. So maybe after he looked at the screenshot that I sent to him, the post I was responding to or initiating conversations with, um, maybe that shifted some of his perspective or gave him more context. That's why I like to take a screenshot if they say something. I like screenshotting their post and just mentioning if it was a reel, if it was a comment, if it was a post, like whatever it was that is the reason why I thought of them. Um, I like to say something along those lines. Then he continues, my mom's 98 with many ailments. Um, and unwilling to do things better for her health. I can understand that. Besides 98, hey, that's a good long time, right? God is blessing her, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I estranged us for 30 plus years. Um, Read a lot of psychology books and problems I couldn't initially cope with. So, uh, did I say 98? I meant 89. Then here's his question. So I'm curious. Do you know of a cure or a help for Alzheimer's? And how are things in your neck of the woods? So now he's asking me for the offer, a solution, or something that can help. So he really just made that simple for me. And then what I did is I took a screenshot from the slide from the signature speech. That is Amy Sauter's dad from Wisconsin. And you see a photo of this fine folk. He's a cool dude. Um, and then I said who I've met him at a conference, and I've met Amy Sauter. I said this is Dick's testimony. He's Richard, known as Dick. Dick's testimony. His memory was so bad. His daughter Amy was a caregiver for him, so it's similar concept. I'm looking for a story that that my friend Mike can relate to. And so Amy Sauter was a caregiver for Dick, her father, so that's similar. If he left the house, he would get lost and they would need to call the police to help search for him and bring him back home. When the photo on the left was taken, everyone was saying it's time for him to go to a nursing home. Usually, it's not long after people enter the nursing home that they pass away. His daughter was introduced to this natural remedy. This is the supplement I was talking about. He he likes the phrase natural remedy. He's using coconut oil, so I didn't say supplements at the time, but that's one of the reasons why I was using the language that he uses, that he's familiar with, that he's looking for, and it is a natural remedy type solution. His daughter was introduced to this natural remedy, starts giving it to her dad, and now he's got his driver's license back. He's driving himself around, doing charity work 3 times a week. The photo on the left, he's 82, and the photo on the far right, he's 86. They want to put him into a bodybuilding competition because Dick has been working out. He's never went into a nursing home. So you see he's younger there and older there, and he's in better shape now. We literally saw him doing at the event. We saw him do 100 push-ups in his oh, in his late 80s. That there's no way that this Dick Sauter before the product was able to do 100 push-ups. So God really blessed him through our health solutions. Now, um, then I shared another one. So it's called story stacking. I shared it's facts tell, stories sell. So I'm looking for stories that can relate. There was a lady in Bend, Oregon, who shared her testimony at a health meeting. She said she's 92 years old. She said, I have been using this natural remedy for 4 months. I was in a nursing home when I learned about it. I had a full time caregiver. 2 months ago, I was released from my nursing home, and 4 weeks ago, I got my driver's license back. That is so cool. And it's true. It's what happened. These are just some of the testimonies of people who have been helped with severe memory loss problems as they age. Now, I didn't say Alzheimer's or dementia because it's not very compliant. I don't want to make any claims. Um, but you could talk about symptoms. So I said severe memory loss problems and relating to age, which is what he's looking for dealing with. There is going to be a live health webinar this Sunday at 3 p.m. PST. The Zoom call is going to be dealing with this very subject. This may be helpful for your research and it may not be. So, might help you, it might not. It's like low pressure, no pressure. And then here is the powerful question. So, not only am I telling him, I'm like, I hook him with his desire, like hook story offer. I tell him these stories, and then here's the offer where I'm like, look, this is just a few of them. This is a glimpse. If you like this story, there's some more stories. And then here's the offer. I got this live health seminar. It's going to be on a Zoom call, so I'm telling them what the format is. Like, is it a live event? Is it a phone call? Is it a webinar? Is it a Zoom call? Like teleconference? I'm telling them that. So it's a Zoom call. It's going to be dealing with this subject. And then this may be helpful. Now, this is the question you want to use. If I sent you a link, would you be interested in taking a look at the webinar with me? So I say with me because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there to support. So it shows I'm not just sending him something and leaving, but it's if I would you. That's the powerful question. That is that's a special, really based on brain-based learning is this is positioning the invitation as a gift. I'm not pushing him. I'm not trying to get him to do something. I'm asking, hey, this is even hypothetical, if I sent you a link to the Zoom call, would you be interested in taking a look? And taking a look is very non-threatening. It's not saying like, hey, will you buy the product? I think you need to order this. You need to like here, take this $200 purchasing decision. Let's make it on this text. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not even telling him going into all the science and details about what it is and how it works and all that stuff. I'm just shared with him stories, and all I'm doing is inviting him in to take a look. It's a very low pressure, no pressure, non-threatening invitation, and and so. and then I'm saying if I sent you a link, would you take a look? So if I'm promoting a webinar, I would say if I sent you a link to the webinar, would you be interested in taking a look? And notice I didn't send it. I'm asking him. I'm asking for a yes. I want him to say yes before I send him the link. And then another thing about this is if I'm promoting a video on YouTube, I'd say, hey, if I sent you the video, would you be interested in taking a look? Or if I'm promoting an event, um, I would say, hey, if I sent you a flyer, would you be interested in taking a look or uh, attending the event with me? Or um, if I if I gave you a link to my calendar, or um, if I gave you the phone number, would you be interested in joining a call with me? Something of that nature. It's really powerful. It's easier to say yes to. I'm not asking him to buy something or do something or tell him what to do. I'm presenting this as a gift, and he's the one who's saying, I am interested. I'm not telling him to be. So he said, yes, I would, for my own sake mostly. So, and who knows, it might even help my mom. So this tells me too that his why, like my why, has been shifted as I've been like talking to him. I thought originally that his motive would be because of his mom. And so, no, I thought it was going to be for him first because his concern with his dad and his dad's dad history of Alzheimer's. So I was talking to him. Then he's like, well, the only thing I care about is my mom. And I was like, oh, well, maybe his mom's interested. And then he's affirming again, this is for my own sake mostly. So I realized, oh, okay, so this is why he wants to join the call. It's just good to be aware of these cues of what people are joining for. Then he talks about the specifics. She's like, I don't know if it's going to help her. But as for myself, absolutely yes. I'm very prone to this. And if it turns out like with my dad, then I'll probably notice significant signs when I get in my mid 70s. Dad knew exactly early on. So he's giving me like feedback and understanding of like what kind of challenges that like why he's interested. Um, and then he says, I have one client this Sunday. He tells me his schedule. I'll be home by 2. So that he's just thinking through, which another great question too. He's doing fantastic to actually look at his schedule and go back and say if it's gonna fit. One question you can ask if they don't do that is you can ask is there any reason why this Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time wouldn't work out for you? And then people who don't think it through, when they say, yes, I'm interested, and when you ask, is there any reason why this Sunday at 3 p.m. wouldn't work for you? Then they pull up their calendar. Then they think through their commitments. They're like, oh, I actually don't get off work till 4. Or they say, oh, I said that I would go to the movies with my friends at that time. Or and then you might want to like schedule a different time. Or if they can't attend the webinar, you invite them to if it's a weekly thing, maybe you ask them next week. Or if it's they can't do it at that time every every week, then you might send them a video to a YouTube or a recording of a past webinar that can do it, or find another third-party teaching tool that you can invite them to share with them your opportunity. So he's like, which is our time, right? And so we're checking the same time zone. I should be good. Send me a link. By the way, um, he was saying that I think this other person would be interested in too, um, which that is had I like went back to this, I think I forgot that he mentioned he gave another referral. Be really mindful about people who give referrals. And notice this right here too. It's natural for people who have a good solution they want to share with others. He hasn't heard anything about being able to get referral bonuses or finder's fees or get paid to invite people to this opportunity, and he's already doing it because it's natural for people want to refer to you. Does he have results yet? No. He's literally just inviting his friends who knows that also has an interest. So it's a very like smooth transition to be able to invite people to the webinar. And then I found out like yeah, he's so then I sent him something a little wonky. He's like, do I click something here? And then I sent him the link. And you can just click the link. Uh, and then walked him through a little bit about how to join. He's like, I do have a camcorder, but I rarely use it. I suppose I can connect it to make sure it's working. I showed him, set the expectation to how to use it. And and this says on Sunday you click the link here, it'll open up a live video. You don't have to set up your camera. Lots of people don't turn on their cameras. Sometimes that is an objection. People are like, oh, I don't like want to show my face. Then don't worry, you don't have to show your face. And I said you can invite them, Linda, to join as well. It'd be great to have her. And then it gets better. So the next part of this is the next day. I believe this is Sunday. Yeah, this is the day of the webinar. So he said that this is 11/5/17. And we had the conversation on 11/2/17. So I was inviting him. So I followed up 3 days in advance, and that helps. Like the day of the webinar, you want to follow up with the people who said that they were coming and be like, hey, good morning, my friend. Did you have a chance to speak with Linda? And he's like, well, I sent her a text. I got lazy when I did because I had a hard time copying and pasting. I don't know why. So I just told her about what it was versus telling her the testimonies and left it up to her to contact you. Which in that moment, it's good to like reach out and say, hey, I know that I would probably reach out to Linda and say, um, I understand that Michael talked about you had an interest in learning about like memory loss and I'd possibly be interested in hearing a health training on this topic, and then started a similar conversation about this. But then keep going. He's like, by the way, do I need to do this using Facebook, or can I just download the program? And I said, you need to click the link from Messenger. Great. Thanks for inviting. Hope she receives a blessing. Now you have the app downloaded. You'll click the Zoom link from Messenger. It should instantly pop up on the screen. Are you doing this from a mobile or PC? No, this is my home desktop, which is with a full screen and keyboard. I said, oh, okay, then it's even easier to join. So I'm just like finding out like some things that we have to do is some people are not used to Zoom. Just expect that you're going to onboard them. Expect that you're going to um, help them to get on Zoom. It's the same process every time. So you just ask a question, mobile or PC. It's a different process. And that's okay. That's part of the project or part of the process of promoting the event. And then there's the event. See, Facebook used to allow me to set reminders on Messenger, which was pretty slick, but they stopped doing that. So now I would set a reminder elsewhere to follow up with the people. And then I said, hey, the webinar has started right now because I didn't see he joined yet. So that's a good way, a gentle way to follow up. And then sometimes if I didn't send that, like he could have been running late or he could have missed entirely. So sometimes that little message right there could be the difference of like $500 of purchases, or even thousands of dollars of purchases from a lifelong customer of someone who've just been a happy, satisfied client. So here's later on. This is like the webinar started at 3, so this is afterwards. He said, "Hey, did you get my private message from inside the webinar? Are you a customer and a seller? I can see you on the phone there, LOL." So I had my photo, my video, so they could see. By the way, I appreciate the information he's giving about how to turn this into a money-making business opportunity, but I'm firstly and foremostly interested in using the product. This is what I was given the impression by you that the webinar was going to be about. And it's like, absolutely, because it's about the products. And I told him I'm a happy customer, but I also see the value of self-supporting industry. Like, I like that 6% of each of my purchases goes to supporting missionaries to be full-time ministry. So one of the things that got me started, why I was so excited and still am, is I like the opportunity that mission-minded people who are on a mission to help people are able to serve people. And I believe Isagenix is a powerful tool for ministry because you're able to heal people and teach and share, and it just opens up a lot of doors. I see as my business as my ministry, and ministry as a business. Um, and he said, good point. But at this time, I just want the product. If it really works, and I think it will, so he's confident by the training, that's the tool. If I were to try to sell this to him on Messenger, it wouldn't have worked as well. But using a third-party tool makes a big difference. They don't have enough energy to do the business part. But also, I would really like to see a difference in mom's health. Maybe later, when you have time, you can call me how to pay and have and have and do we have a website with a company, etc.? So stuff like that.
So basically, when he says like, "I'm interested, I'm ready to sign up," you don't want to talk. Don't sell. Don't continue to sell when they're like, "I'm ready. I believe it'll work. I'm ready to get started." If they say any like terms like that, sign them up right now. So you can get them on the phone, you can place the order, you can do whatever. He's just looking for how do I pay. So that's buying language. And don't hesitate, don't wait. Um, I said, "Do you have time to talk right now?" And then I gave him my phone number. It's not my phone number anymore. He's like, "I think I can multitask." Still listening to him, but like I said, not interested in the money part. It's almost over. Call you shortly. Um, and I told him too. This is something that helps when people are like, "Well, I don't want the business," and they get like afraid because they're afraid they think that they're signing up for a business. You just tell them everyone enrolls as a customer first. Like you're the only option you have to enroll as a customer. So don't worry about an associate or business. Like you just and then just let them know like most of the people are happy, satisfied customers. So that's totally fine. And what I did is I asked for the details over the phone. Over text, and I said, "Hey, I want the name, phone number, email, mailing address, payment information. That's what I need to know." And the product was already given because it was recommending the telomere support. And then in the next message, he gave me the information. He texted it. I signed. I placed the order in his behalf for him. Um, and then created an account. I sent him the information, the login details. He was ready to go. Set him up with his auto shipment, and it was just a smooth sailing from there. He's been a happy, satisfied customer for years following, and he found really great results, and he's attended um, several more events since then. And a few tips that I would suggest is when you go once you sign people up, um, the follow-up doesn't end. You want to continue to invite them to ongoing continued education. But hopefully in this video, um, what you get is just an idea of what the conversation can look like through text. And literally, I would sign up. I've signed up over 100 people through Messenger, and being able to work with people, it's been good. And his life was greatly impacted, and it's following a script. When, as you see, the script is able to be modified slightly depending on how the conversation goes, but I often initiate the conversation, send a screenshot, say, "Hey, when you said blank, were you being serious or were you just kidding around?" And then I bring it back to when you said that you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck, were you being serious or were you just kidding around? And just take the conversation from there, invite them to listen to the training. And I hope this video is helpful, and I look forward to your success.